everyone, Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters, and thank you for joining me for a Confessions of a Paper Addict design team layout. So you can see I've got the super gorgeous bicycle with flowers cut file that I'm working on now. I think that was released in May possibly, but maybe even April. It is definitely not part of the new June releases. And I've just got this gorgeous yellow paper. The stripes on there aren't actually evenly spaced. They're kind of winky wonky, almost like hand drawn stripes, but just with the bike having so much purple and blues, I just really wanted to tone down the yellowness in the background. So I've just got my palette knife and lathered on quite a decent amount of gesso. I was going to say texture paste then, but it's just gesso. I've let that dry, and as you can see, the page is a little bit warped, but nothing too drastic. And then I'm pouring a little bit of lavender distress oxide onto some packaging. The packaging is all black and things from other times, but that's all dry, so that's not mixing in or anything like that. Then I've got some navy of the same distress oxides. And again, I've just popped that, I've shared that same piece of packaging. I wasn't too concerned about the lavender colouring still on there. And now I'm going to pop on a little bit of the blue. Now this has gone a little bit more crazy than I had originally intended. I still really like it, but I probably had imagined a little bit less when I was planning this in my mind. So I'm going to place my cut file a little bit higher up, so not quite in the center, sort of in the more upper end of the page. And I'm going to put 3 photos on today. So I'm just going to glue my cut file straight down onto the page. I'm actually keeping this layout relatively flat, which is a little bit unusual for me. I often will pop up my cut file and or photos, but today I'm actually sticking my cut file flat and I'm just using my glue. And I'm going to pop that on there. And I'm actually even going to stick my photos flat as well. So I'm just going to use double-sided tape on my photos and pop those down. So with the beauty of editing, they are all adhered straight down onto my page. Now, I was having trouble working with this paper. This yellow paper is very, very thin. Very, very thin. Like the thinnest weight of paper you can possibly get in your scrapbooking supplies. Like 80 GSMs or something. And bearing in mind American Crafts is about 180. So I decided I definitely needed to put this on another piece of paper just for the stability, if nothing else. So I thought, well, if I'm going to go to the effort of putting it onto another piece of paper, I may as well mat it and actually put it on a border. So I'm very carefully trimming off a very small amount. As you can see, I hadn't planned to do this, so I actually had stuck my cut file and my photos quite close to the end. So I'm just going to work on that, and then you can see, we probably can't even see because my bench is white, but I have matted it on white paper, so there is a little teensy tiny border of white all the way around the edge, and I just stuck that down with double-sided tape. That little love this feature is going to be the title. I think it is a Heidi swap, but I actually don't know. I found it in a stash of something Katie was going to re-gift somewhere else, and I thought, oh, it's cute, I want it. So I've snaffled him up. And then I've got the Bloom Street collection florals, and they're gorgeous. So I'm actually going to pop the florals up on foam, which is a little bit, as I said before, a little bit unusual for me to pop up the ephemera and to keep my photos and cut file flat, but I liked the look for this particular layout to do it that way. So the florals are going up on foam, and as you can see over on the left hand side, there are a few other little bits and pieces that are going to be added to each little cluster. They are from the Lucky Us sticker sheet, and they're going to be a little word phrase and a little thing of cherries and a little love heart. So this process will obviously take a little bit of time because there's a little bit of sticking down and playing with adhesives and all of that. So while I'm doing that, I thought I'd mention all the things you will find down below in my description box. So if you are not familiar with my channel, you will know that down below in the description box, you won't know. If you are familiar with my channel, you will know. So if you are not familiar with my channel, down below in the description box, there is a link to the Confessions of a Paper Addict Etsy shop where you will find hundreds and hundreds of cut files. There are about 350 in there now, I think. You will also find a direct link to the specific cut file that I am using. You'll also find a link to the COAPA Facebook group, and if you're not a member of that Facebook group, I highly recommend joining that team. Obviously, as a design team member, I clearly love it, but even before I was a design team member, it was a great group to be a part of. There's a really active, nice little community in there of people that share the layouts that they've been making to help inspire us and give us ideas of other things to do. The other beauty of it is Virginia does give away free cut files, about 2 a month, I think she does at the moment, free cut files. So who doesn't love something for free? So I highly recommend joining that Facebook group. There is one question when you join up to the Facebook group. It says, what kind of crafting do you like, I think is the question, or something phrased remotely along those lines. Please answer that question. If you do not answer the type of crafting you prefer and you leave it blank, you will not be accepted into the group. So please make sure you answer that question just to make sure you do get to be part of our little community, and we'd love to see you over there. So I'm just about finished now. I kept this layout relatively simple, just with, my 3 clusters are all the same. They've all got a floral piece, they've all got a text, they've all got a little love heart, they've all got a cherry. I just thought there was a lot going on in the background, with the background mixed media, with the bite cut file, with 3 photos, and I just thought keeping it simple would be the way to go with this particular layout and this design. So I'm just going to glue on my title, and I just use some PVA, some white glue for this, just to keep that down. It's quite a thick piece of card, this one, so I just want to make sure it's really going to adhere quite well. And tuck it in under there, remembering that my floral is stuck up on foam, so it's quite easy to slide that in underneath there. And then I'm just about done. I do pull out a few little rhinestones. I tried to get a pink that was as close a match to the Love This as I could, and as you can see, there are hardly any left, so I'm actually going to use them all. They are rhinestones from Kaiser Craft, and they're so old now and they haven't been kept in their packaging that they're losing their stick, so I'm just going to give them a little helping hand by popping on a little bit of glue as well. And we're just about done. If you stay tuned right to the end, you've already stuck out this far, so of course you'll probably hang around for a little bit longer. You'll be able to see the close-ups, and that will give you a little bit more detail as to all the little bits and pieces that have crept onto this layout. Just deciding where to put that last one, and it's just going to stick there next to the title, a little bit like a full stop. Okay. I feel like this layout has been sped up a little bit, but I feel like my hands are moving so slow. It looks like they're, imagine how slow it must have been in real life. A little bit of gold, Heidi Swap Colour Shine. That is almost run out, and I'll be moving on to my next brand of gold. Wait and check out what that will be. It's on its last legs. And here are the close-ups. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed coming through this process video with me. Remember to check out the description box if you want links to the Etsy shop or to the Facebook group. Leave a comment or give me a thumbs up or anything like that. Any criticisms or positives I'd love to hear, and I will get back to you as quickly as I can. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.